All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight for this Monday night special edition called New Member Experience. This edition is for new members of Young Living or people who maybe not necessarily new in the last few weeks, but even in the last, I'll say 6 months. Because to me, you are still learning, you're still diving into your oils or your supplements or makeup even, whatever it is that got you into Young Living. So I'm so glad that you guys are here to join us. Because most people start with Young Living with essential oils, I start there. This class is not going to be a typical essential oil class. So if you hopped on thinking, great, it's going to be a 101, you are in the wrong class. Because we're not going to go through every single bottle of oil. Here's why. You will forget everything I said. That's just human nature. It's not because you don't have a good memory. It's just you're going to log off. You're going to go to bed. You'll be like, what did she say about thieves? Is it good for this? And so we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do tonight is we're going to dive into a couple of things. Number one, what are oils? What do oils do in the body? And then we're going to talk about becoming a student of your own body. Because here's the thing. If we are not students of our own body, then we will forever be asking all the questions to whoever will listen, and we won't ever be able to use our oils effectively the way God designed them to be used in our body. Okay, so number one, if you don't have a pen and paper, I'm going to encourage you to grab one. I see, Angie, you've got your pen. I'm so delighted. I love note takers. There's going to be a lot of information that I want you guys to write down because you can go back through and it'll make more sense when you see it in print with your own handwriting. What are essential oils? Simple. Essential oils are the blood of the plant. As our blood is to us, that's what oils in plants do. So if you think about it, our own blood, it oxygenates our cells. It gives our cells life. It brings life to our organs. It brings nutrients to our organs. And as you guys all know, without our blood, we would not be able to live. It's critical. Okay? In plants, it's the same thing. The essential oils give life and vitality and health to that plant. They make that plant strong. They help the plant live and thrive and heal. So if a plant gets damaged, and maybe if you've seen if you have dogs, your dogs go trampling through your bushes or your flowers, and then you're thinking, oh great, now they're all dead, and they won't be. Given enough time, that plant will actually rejuvenate unless it's broken off, unless the oil can't connect to the other. But if it's just bent and bruised, over time, that plant will be able to heal itself because of the oil in there. Our bodies recognize plants. Our bodies are designed to have plants for food, fuel, and nutrients. And so when we think about, okay, what does the oil do in the plant? What does our blood do in us? And we connect those two things. When we use an essential oil, it's going to help give our body, support our body in health and vitality, energy. If you think about our blood, it brings oxygen to our cells. When our cells are oxygenated, when our organs are oxygenated, when our heart, when your heart pumps, and it pumps out that blood, the clean blood, it goes right back to the heart. It feeds itself first. It gives it life. It gives it that oxygen. It gives it that energy. So think about that. Next time you grab, I hope you have your oil with you, grab your oil and you think, okay, this is the lifeblood of the plant. This oil of joy has rose. It has bergamot. It has ylang-ylang. So all of that is the essence of the plant. It's the aromatic oil of the plant. It's what gives the plant its fragrance too. The second thing is that as you dive into the world of essential oils or in oil-infused supplements, you need to become a student of your own body. You need to know your body on a cellular level. This is where I think as a culture, as a nation, as far as health and wellness, I should say, not everything else, but as far as health and wellness, we don't really know how our bodies are designed. We don't know where our organs are. At the class that we did on Saturday, I said, okay, show of hands, who knows where their adrenals are? And about half the class knew, and maybe some of you guys listening or watching later may not know where your adrenals are. I ask because this is my uneducated researching guess, and just from the scads of people I talk to every day, but my guess would be about 80% of our population struggle with adrenal fatigue. That is not science, that is just me doing a little non-official research. Adrenal fatigue is where you just get really tired. So it's important to know where your adrenals are. And if you're still wondering, like, okay, tell me where they are, they're just above your kidneys on your back. And we'll talk about that in a minute. We need to know where our brain is. And you might be thinking, yeah, Dad, no kidding, it's in my head. Well, yes, but did you know you have 3 parts to your brain? You have your brain stem, you've got the cerebrum, and you've got the cerebellum. It's important to know where all 3 of those things are. If someone messages me and says, where should I put this oil for sleep? Put it on your brain stem. Why the brain stem, they ask? Well, if you think about it, your brain stem connects to what? Your spinal cord, which is all the nerves. And your nerves, your spinal cord is the epicenter for your entire nervous system, which goes around to all of your organs. So this is why it's so critical to know your body, your own body. Because all of us on this call right now, I mean, there's 8 of us, we can all grab lavender and we will have 8 different responses to it. I might like it for sleep. Somebody else might like it for soothing sore muscles. Someone else might like it for occasional headaches. We all have different DNA. And so to say, well, what oil is good for fill in the blank is really not accurate, because we have to get out of that allopathic mindset. And what I mean by that is we were all raised with getting a script, right, from our doctor with the alphabet after their name. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that oils are different. Oils are meant to, how do I say, compliantly? They're meant to just give life to your body, support your body. Support your body back into the homeostasis environment that it was designed to do. Our bodies work tirelessly day and night to be in a perfect working order. And so when anything from the outside world affects that, it has to work a little bit harder to get there. So if you have a rough night's sleep, your adrenals are going to be working overtime, your thyroid's going to be working overtime, and on it goes. Okay, let's talk about a couple parts of your endocrine system, because this, if you're just like, you know what, I don't want to know anything, really, I just want you to tell me what I use. Okay, fine. But let's do this little handshake, this promise with each other. Please learn your endocrine system. Because if you know your endocrine system, everything else will just fall into place. Yes, thank you, Maribel. You help your body do what it's meant to do using your essential oils. All right. So the first thing I want to share with you is the pituitary gland. Now, you guys might think I'm a little nerdy, but here's the deal. Most of us after high school biology have no idea what's going on inside. And if you're like me, you slept through half of your biology class. If you didn't, good on you, because mine came after lunch, and that was really hard. I did not eat life-giving food, so I was very sleepy, and he droned on, and I was weary of biology. So many of you know that I homeschool my kids. I have our human body textbook. The reason why I'm showing this to you is because I want you to realize that this is so simple, anybody can learn it. All you do is you go to Half Price Books, grab a human body textbook, and read and learn. It's not hard. Also, you all have the Google at your fingertips. So you can even pull up this information now as I talk to you about it. But you have your endocrine system. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the pituitary gland. And that is right in the middle of your brain. We just mentioned your brain and your brain stem. And you have your pituitary gland. That's in the middle. This gland works closely with the neurons in your brain. Okay, so you all know about the fight or flight response. This gland is right around the limbic system that houses our memories and emotions, that responds to the fight or flight. Very important. The next thing is your thyroid. Your thyroid is right here on your neck. It's a little butterfly shape. I say this in every class, but it is not an accessory organ. Doctors see one thing going on with it, one thing off, and they want to take it out. If you have had your thyroid removed, studies have shown that you can actually, it is an organ that can grow back. Just like your lungs can regenerate themselves, given enough time, given enough resources, given enough tools and food and nutrients, your lungs can regenerate themselves. So important. Okay, the next thing is your thymus. Your thymus is right here. Let's see, I'll move my camera a little bit. It's right kind of in between your heart, right around your breastbone. And right now, if you have looked on social media over the last 2 months, every other post is some nonsense, some Tama something people are ordering or getting, and it's just not pretty. Folks are not well right now. Your thymus is critical for immune support. When people ask, where should I put thieves? That's good for immune support. Where should I put my RC? I mean, your feet are okay because you have 3,000 pores, and so it absorbs into your bloodstream. But if you really want to hit the spot where you need to, rub it on your thymus, right here. The last thing is your adrenal glands, like I mentioned, the very first thing. So that is behind your back, or on your back, above your kidneys. This is responsible for adrenaline, cortisone, all the feel-good hormones too. But managing and supporting our adrenals really is critical, especially for us women, because your adrenals speak to your thyroid and your ovaries, and it's like this cycle. It starts at your pituitary gland, your thyroid, your ovaries, adrenals, ovaries, and then on it goes. Dopamine. Thank you, Allie. Sometimes I forget. So knowing where your adrenals are, knowing how to support them, feeding them will help. Here's the thing. Again, knowing your body, knowing responses that happens in the body. You're driving down the road and someone cuts you off. And now you're frustrated and your blood pressure goes up and all the adrenaline, and you're thinking of all these things to call this person because they were super rude. You grab your stress away and you can smell it, which will help your brain calm down. But also rubbing it over your adrenals will help suppress, help reduce that cortisone release, that adrenaline. Too much adrenaline raises our blood pressure, it raises our heart rate, especially if we're just sitting driving a car. We don't need our heart to be racing that fast. Just a little food for thought as you guys are managing emotions and managing on a cellular level, really thinking of your body, really thinking of the response that happens when you come in contact with something or have something happen. I didn't mention this, but your thyroid, this is your energy giver. If you do not have a thyroid, you are lacking in energy. And everybody who does not have a thyroid is like, amen. If your thyroid is struggling, then you very likely are tired. You might need a nap in the day and you think, oh, I'm just lazy or I'm just tired. And no, it's your thyroid. This is what gives you energy. So supporting your thyroid is so important. Our endocrine system, like I mentioned before, works tirelessly to keep our body, like as Maribel so beautifully said, doing what it was meant to do. We are meant to walk in perfection, but we live in a world, we make choices, whether it's with food, with toxins in our home, or whatever, to not walk in that way. Or things happen. You walk outside, you can have a completely clean home, but you walk outside and then there's smog and then there's all these things, people with perfume and all of this. So our endocrine system is just working overtime. If you guys signed up for oils, that is great. That is awesome. So knowing what your body does, being a student of your body and understanding, okay, I have this something, I really want to support it in this way. Okay, how do I need to support it in this way? I'll tell you, when we first actually we were gifted a whole bunch of oils. Our son we were needing to boost his immune system. I'm keeping this very compliant because I'm going to post this on our YouTube channel. So if you want to know the real story, just give me a call. We'll have lunch sometime. But we needed to support his immune system. So my friends gifted us a bunch of oils. And here's the thing. I learned what his body was struggling with. And so I thought, if I could figure out how to unmake that, if I could figure out how to help his cells just continue to regenerate normally, everything's good. And so that's what I did. I dove in learning about his cells, our cells, that they regenerate normally. That cells, actually, we get new cells every 3 to 4 months. It's terrific. It's the best news ever. And so when we're given a diagnosis or a decree or this over our bodies, it's like, well, that's not forever. Because if we can just help our cells do what they were designed to do, which is regenerate normally, everybody's happy. So if you signed up for oils, terrific. I'm so glad that you have your oils. Use them often and daily. There's a couple of things. If you, since we're online, I was trying to think, how do I do this? But if you want to just message me privately and send me your address, I can send you this Think Inside the Box. It's 21 days with your Young Living Premium Starter Kit. It's fantastic. Day one, you open your box, you take out the goodies, right? And it gives you a protocol, just 21 days to dive in so you start to feel more comfortable and more confident with your oils, which is great. Many of us need a how-to sheet. You know, you get these oils and you think, okay, these are little drops of what did I just get now? How does this work? And so that will help you. And by day 21, you think, oh, I got this. The other thing as an aside, and I'll write this in when I mail this to you, is get a little journal. Even just, I have this old, it's not old, it's new, but I always call it old school, little pink memo pad. Just get a journal and write down, how do you feel when you diffuse lemon? How are you feeling when you take Lemon Vitality in your water every day? Have you noticed, are you going to the bathroom a little bit more? Good, because lemon is designed to naturally support our body's detox process. So if you've got your oils, terrific. Do that for 21 days. Dive in. Really own it. But let's talk about supplements. Supplements are so key for our body. If you are not taking supplements now, then your body, you have gaps in your diet. Our family eats nothing but plants. We don't eat meat. We don't eat dairy. We eat very little sugar. Very little, actually, probably none. It's a great, great diet that we have. And yet, we still have gaps because we don't eat 3 servings of cruciferous vegetables every week. I don't eat a beet every day. So there's some things that you know what, there's just not enough time in the day for me to sit down and eat tons and tons of kale. I mean, I do have a mound, but let's be real. So we take supplements just to fill in those gaps. And again, if you remember, our endocrine system is working tirelessly to get back to that homeostasis environment, right? Back to perfection. Food is critical to do that. Side note, whenever I mess with people's taste buds, they get a little angry, but I'm going to mess. Just give me a minute. If you are eating stuff that is not food, then really your sweet little cells are working overtime. The next time you sit down to eat, look at your food and say, is this going to give me life and health and vitality? Or is this actually going to cause my body to have to work harder? Just think about it. Okay, so when we take supplements, we are filling in those gaps. Young Living has the best supplements on the planet. I used to be the biggest skeptic. I probably still am the biggest skeptic, but not with Young Living. But when I first got on my oils, I'm like, okay, fine, I get it. I dove in. I understand it. I understand the science. I'm in. But then I saw they had supplements. I thought, oh, that's super cute, but you're just an oil company. I doubt you have good supplements. So I didn't take our supplements. See, we've been with Young Living about 7.5 years. I just started taking our supplements like a year and a half ago because I got something for free with my Essential Rewards, which is a great thing about Essential Rewards. Yeah, like amino-wise. I did not understand why people were so excited about aminos. If you lift weights, you're like, what? Who is this girl? I know. I'm really new to this whole thing. So my very first supplement was Super B. What you need to know is before that, I was taking an adrenal supplement because I had terrible adrenal fatigue, 5 kids, working a full-time business, cutting hair, homeschooling, all the things, super tired. So when you take a supplement, a whole food supplement, you need 4 to 5 in the morning, 4 to 5 in the evening, or midday, depending on what the supplement is for. Because your body just cannot absorb more than 20 to 25% of that whole food supplement on its own. Nobody's gut is 100% perfect. It's just life. If you've had a Big Mac in your life, French fries, a milkshake, anything that's going to break it down on the inside, our bellies just cannot absorb that much. And so you take these supplements several times a day and a lot of them. When we got the Super B, I thought, all right, I'll give it a try. I mean, I should give Young Living a chance. After all, I do get a paycheck from them. And so we took the Super B, and I thought, oh my word, I had energy for days. So if you don't know about Super B is B vitamins, but it's infused with nutmeg. And you guys, this is the kicker for our supplements. Our supplements are infused with these fabulous essential oils. Studies have shown that where supplements by themselves, 20-25% you're going to absorb, like I mentioned. You infuse it with an oil, the bioavailability grows exponentially. And so now that supplement, you're going to absorb 60 to 65% within a half an hour to an hour. You will have absorbed 80 to 85% of that supplement in your body. That's huge. For me, you guys, I would take supplements on faith. I mean, I kind of felt better, but I thought, you just don't know till you know, right? So when I would take Super B, I thought, wow, I feel amazing. And so little by little, I started trying different supplements. Why does this work? Because when you take an oil-infused supplement, that oil, that essential oil, doesn't have to go all the way to your belly. It takes the nutrients from that vitamin. I mean, it goes into your belly and they break it up, but it doesn't have to get processed through. It can take that nutrients and it pulls it into the rest of your cells. It creates an environment that your body can accept those nutrients. Yes, I love Maribel just said, that's how I feel with Ningxia and multigreens. Yes, multigreens, well, multigreens is several, love using that, of the greens. So spirulina, chlorella, bee pollen. Well, bee pollen isn't a green, but it's an energy supplement. And so then you couple that with peppermint, melissa, that's high in frequency. You're going to get some energy for days. So if you have not dove into supplements, I highly recommend you do. If you are taking a C, we have Super C. If you are taking any kind of a multivitamin, pause on that and know that a multivitamin is just really expensive urine. I mean, no disrespect. But your body cannot break down that lump of a vitamin throughout the rest of your body. I'm going to steal Maribel's story, but she has mentioned being in yoga school. Yeah, right? Was it? And you guys would work on the cadavers and you'd see all kinds of lovely one-a-days in the colon and not processed. Not processed. So yeah, that's gross. So just be thinking about that. If you don't feel any different, and really take a thought. I spoke to a woman a while back about a thyroid medication she'd been on for 20 years. And she's like, yeah, I really don't feel that much better. I'm like, ma'am, 20 years? I feel like that's enough, that's enough experimental time. So if you're taking a supplement and you're not seeing the results, you're just taking it on faith, I strongly recommend you try just one. Just switch it up and just see what you think. Allie mentions here a probiotic. Absolutely. Someone in our class on Saturday asked about a probiotic. And here's the thing with probiotics. Many, many probiotics boast all the strains, all the bacteria, the good bacteria. But what they don't tell you is a lot of bacteria, probiotics, do not play nicely together. They can become cannibalistic. So you might have, 5 to 15 strains. Well, at the end of the day, you have 2 because they've all eaten each other. And now you've got these 2 strains that are kind of doing the work. Life 9 is dual release. Is that how we say? Guys, yeah? Okay, dual release. So it releases in the lower intestine, which is where we want it. So it doesn't break apart in your stomach. It releases in your lower intestine. Also, if you are taking a probiotic now, please look at the bottle. Please look at the ingredients. Maybe you have. That's awesome. High five. But most people, and I see people on social media because I'm a people watcher, pushing a probiotic and it has a wheat filler in it. And I'm thinking, with people with gut issues, I don't understand that. Just make sure that the probiotic doesn't have a wheat filler. And with Life 9, like Neil says, it is amazing. Not to be TMI, because I don't know who's going to be watching this later down the road, but you will notice a difference I'm going to wink at you. I promise you, 1-2 days, your belly, everything down here is going to feel amazing. Okay. So we talked about supplements. If you've got oils, great. If you've signed up with supplements and you're like, yeah, I know this. Terrific. That is awesome. Keep learning your body. Keep experimenting with what needs support. Young Living has tons and tons and tons of supplements that are designed just for certain parts of the body. Like Neil mentioned AminoWise. I mean, this has the aminos in it, the BCAAs. They know all the lingo, the gym lingo. But our bodies need that. And so really just do some research. What do you need? And then go from there. If you have all that already, fabulous. You might be missing on one of the most critical things, and that's getting your home toxin-free. Not chemical-free. Oh, let me say, Maribel just said, please research Sulfurzyme. Thank you for saying that. Sulfurzyme. For those of you guys who I can see your face, who saw The Help? Did anybody see that movie? Okay. So do you remember one of the gals when she was teaching the girl how to cook and she talks about Crisco? And Crisco's good for everything. You want your husband's feet to be shiny? Crisco. You want this? Crisco. You guys, that's Sulfurzyme for us. When somebody asks me, hey, I have a this, what's good for that? Are you taking Sulfurzyme? If they say no, I'm like, listen, just stop right there. Sulfurzyme. Sulfurzyme. I had a friend message me the other day, some sort of dermatitis. It was not psoriasis. It was a periole, something with their mouth, dermatitis. I said Sulfurzyme. Most of our bodies are lacking in the sulfur that we need to help our cells maintain normal health. Sulfurzyme also has wolfberry in it, which is high in antioxidant. We'll talk about that with Ningxia Red. But Sulfurzyme, above anything else, ladies, and my sweet friend Neil's on with the luscious locks, Sulfurzyme is amazing for hair, skin, and nails. I was a hairdresser for 100 years, and I would give my right arm to have been able to recommend this to all my sweet hair clients that were like, I need thicker, longer, happier hair. Sulfurzyme. Now you're going to be saying to yourself, it's like the Crisco of Young Living. It's true. It's good for everything. So good. All right. Back to our toxin-free living. Different than chemical-free. Again, I watch social media and I see people say, chemical-free lifestyle. That's impossible. Again, I told you I'm a skeptic. So don't come at me saying you're going to give me a chemical-free life, because that's impossible. Everything in our culture, in our world, is made with chemicals. If you've seen the periodic table, that's a table full of chemicals. Some are good, some are bad, some are neutral. What we're talking about here is a toxin-free life. Enter in Thieves. If you have your starter kit, you have the Thieves Essential Oil. Terrific. So that was formulated from the story, was history. I used to think it was a cute story until I learned history. Back in the 13th, 14th century, when a third of Europe was dying, there were apothecaries and spice traders that supported their immune system by using cloves, all different kinds of other herbs, spices, oils, douse themselves with all these things. And they would go rob the bodies of the dead and dying. When they were caught, for a lighter sentence, they were forced to divulge their information. Again, skeptic. I'm like, really? Because if I don't want to tell you my secret, I'm not going to tell you my secret for a lighter sentence. Well, that lighter sentence was that they wouldn't be tortured before they were killed. So I didn't know that part of the story at first, and until I started teaching history to my kids, I thought, well, okay, that would make me tell my story. That would make me tell a secret. And so what I have found out since is that that is not an isolated incident. That's not just one family. Being an apothecary or a spice trader in Europe or in Asia was a very common profession in that time. And so it's interesting to me. I'd love to know even more research, but you think if only, which I know is a lot, but if only a third of Europe died, does that mean that maybe 2/3 of them knew about this? Or they knew about hand washing? I don't know if you guys realize that if they would just have washed their hands, that Black Plague, that issue that they had would not have gone so rampant. Just a thought. But Thieves is formulated off of that, mine's off of that formula, off of the clove, off of, with lemon and eucalyptus and rosemary and cinnamon bark. All of those oils in there are powerful, powerful antioxidant oils. They will help support your immune system beautifully. And when you use it as a cleaner, it now is a non-toxic cleaner. So Thieves Cleaner is something that you can take and completely get rid of all the chemicals under your sink. If you don't have this app, I'm going to type it in the chat. Or actually, Maribel or Neil or Allie, would one of you guys or Krista type in Think Dirty into the chat? This is an app for your phone, friends, that you can really just take a 3-product challenge and look, just read the back of your product and see. Just Google some of those like harmful effects of alcohol or whatever's in there and just see for yourself. The Think Dirty app will show you a rating, 1 being completely toxin-free, 10 being like, oh my gosh, you don't even want that in toxic waste, it's so bad. My son, whose immune system we seriously had to support 7 years ago, I recently did a little recon mission at Target on the products that we had been using on him from when he was a little guy all the way up until this happened. Most of the products we had been using on him were like a 9 or a 10. Aveeno, Johnson & Johnson, the baby wipes, all the things. They were so toxic. And I'm not, guys, I'm not trying to be a fear monger, but my job is to educate people to help them not have to walk the walk that we did. And maybe that's not even going to be your story, but if you have even something, again, we mentioned energy. If someone in your home is struggling with brain support, ADHD or ADD, all these things, many of those things come from having a toxic environment. Weight management, healthy weight reduction really is based on the endocrine system and toxic environment. Has nothing to do with you eat too many bonbons. I promise you. I promise you. So Thieves Cleaner can get all of that out. Take the 3-product challenge. Look in the Think Dirty app. The app is free, by the way. The app is free, and you can just look and see. With Thieves Cleaner, you can completely get rid of everything. It's a 22-ounce. No, I said that last time. Sorry, it's 14 ounces. You can get 28 cleaner bottles. And what I mean by that is a 32-ounce spray bottle. Just an ounce in there, clean everything. It's delightful. Thieves also has toothpaste. If your toothpaste is called poison control, if swallowed, I feel like that's a problem. I don't think we should be putting something in our mouth. Your mouth, it's a quick way in your bloodstream. You can put something under your tongue, it'll go in there like that. So if we are brushing our teeth with something that says called poison control if swallowed, I'm like, does anybody else read these labels? Is it just me? I'm like, Colgate, did you see this? But okay. So just switch it out. You already have your own account. You might as well buy from yourself. When you do it on Essential Rewards, you get points back. You get money back, not in your pocket, but you get it back in a little rewards account in Young Living that the next time you go shopping, you can redeem it for a free product. So if you spend $100, you get 10 points, equivalent of $10 worth of whatever. You can accumulate it, and you can get laundry soap. You can get your toothpaste. You can get your cleaner, or you can get just some fun oils that you maybe don't even want to pay the money for. I just saw somebody here. Oh, Allie mentioned something about Tide. You guys, last night watching the Super Bowl and all the Tide ads, I was losing my mind. I'm like, please stop selling Tide. It is the worst detergent anybody can ever use. All the eczema, all the psoriasis I see, all the skin issues, it's your skin, not yours. Not you guys don't have that. It's folks' skin issues, or their skin saying, stop putting this nonsense on me. Seriously. Okay, I have to say this. Neil is mentioning the Thieves toothpaste. Yes, it is the best deodorant ever. Ever. I saw your face, Angie. You're like, Did she? I did mean toothpaste and deodorant. Yes, I did. I meant what I said. I know you're probably like, is it late there? Because yes. So the Thieves toothpaste, I wish they would market it as this. People would probably think Young Living would have lost their mind. But it is so good. Yes, Neil, show your face, would you? Angie's got to see you. Look at him. Look at that mug. Neil, which you can't really see, Neil is like this really big bodybuilder guy. And so you can imagine he works out. He gets super stinky. Love you, but you get smelly. And he needs something, right, to help himself. And when he first started with Young Living, I gave him some lavender because I'm like, this boy is not going to put toothpaste under his pits. That should just tell you guys, don't judge a book by the cover, because he's the biggest advocate for that. And so then we said, okay, well, here, try this toothpaste. And he was blowing up social media, talking about it on our phone. That's the thing, guys, is that it's awesome. And don't judge a book by the cover. Thieves, think about it. It has the Thieves oil in it. But if you've ever felt Thieves all by itself, it's a warm oil. There's cinnamon and there's clove in there. So if you put that under your pits, ooh, that's going to tingle. You do not want to do that. But that will take care of any of the ick bacteria, right? But the toothpaste has baking soda in it. And so it's going to absorb any of that nonsense. But it's not going to keep you from sweating. It's critical that our bodies sweat, particularly from here. Under our armpits and in our groin area, we have the most lymph nodes out of the entire body. And so when we use a deodorant, there's so many deodorants that are antiperspirant and anti-deodorant. It's not good. Breast cancer is almost like you can catch it. This is my unofficial research, but because of all the antiperspirants we do. Oh yeah, so now that you guys can see Neil, he wants to tell you that's Sulfurzyme hair right there. Just in case you want that thick, luxurious hair. I get the privilege of giving him a haircut every once in a while. So Thieves. There is an Essential Rewards starter kit. If you're like, you know what? Okay, I've done my oils. I have my supplements. Okay, I'm ready to tackle toxin-free living. You can go ahead and wipe everything out just by grabbing that on Essential Rewards. It's totally up to you. They make it really simple. If you like to cherry pick things, that's what I like to do, because I'm like, nobody's going to tell me how much I need to buy and how little I need to buy. I'm going to do it myself. Then you're my person. But then you can get, if somebody was to say, what should I start with? Ditch your household cleaners, your toothpaste, and your laundry soap. Start with those three things. Those three things will help really get a good chunk of the toxins out of your home. If you think about it, your laundry soap, we mentioned Tide. Oh, those poor people on that commercial last night. But you're sitting in toxins. Your underwear, which is very thin skin, if you hadn't noticed, by the way. Ladies, your bras, your sports bras, where we have all the lymph nodes, are sitting in toxins if you are not using a toxin-free laundry soap. If you are a DIY type person, there's tons of recipes on making your own laundry soap using Thieves Cleaner. You can make your own hand soap using Thieves Cleaner. So many recipes. The other thing I have that if you all would like, I will be happy to mail it to you. But it is which product do you use? Sheet. I know it's hard to see. But it's a little checklist, and you go through and you say, okay, well, I use toothpaste, I use facial cleanser, and then you flip it up and it shows you, oh, these are all the things that Young Living has. It's perfect. That way you can, little by little, switch out what you have. If your product rates high on the Think Dirty app. If your product rates low, look it, no judgment here. I get it. If you're like, I really like that toothpaste, or I really love my laundry soap, I get it. But I will say the delightful thing with Young Living is that when you order from your own account on Essential Rewards, you get money back. Like Target, the Target card, you get 5%. We give you, or Young Living gives you 10. After 4 months, you get 20% back. And then after 2 years, you get 25% back. It ends up being a lot. It's so nice. So if you spend $100 after 4 months, it's like getting $20 back every month. So great. The average American spends $800 on just cleaning products alone, which I'm like, oh my word, that's a lot. $800, so $67 a month is the average that we spend. And with the Thieves Cleaner, you can just do one and done. It actually saves you money, which I love. Okay, let's wrap this up. So you have a distributorship now. As a Young Living member, if you are not a retail customer, but a member, meaning you bought a starter kit or you signed up with a basic kit, you have your supplements or whatever, you have a distributorship. You guys, there is no need to sell. Please hear me. If you're hearing that for the first time, you're like, I do not want to sell. No one told me I was going to be a distributor. Don't worry. Just everybody calm down. Here, we'll drink tea together. Ready? Grab your lavender. No, this is not like, oh, we got them. Now we got all these distributors. That's not how it is. It actually wasn't always this way, by the way. You weren't always a distributor. But what happened is everybody wanted to start sharing because you use your orange oil for liver support and you start telling people all these amazing things and they're like, I want some of that. And that's how it goes. But you just need to know, I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't say, hey, the option is there. You have a distributorship. You never have to sell anything. I'm not going to call you. Gary Young's not going to call you and be like, hey, how come you didn't tell your friend? None of that's going to happen. But the option is there. There's a couple options you have. You can get your oils paid for, which is my favorite because I don't like to add to my budget. So it's easy. You share with your friends. I don't know if you guys noticed that little maneuver Neil was just doing right there, but he took a roller bottle like this, sharing the love. And you do this at the market when you're stressed out because the line is 50 people deep and you get up to the checker and she's like, oh, you smell so amazing. You might say, you know what? You look like you could use some stress away. Would you like some? And you share it. Be a lamb. Share your oils. If they have worked for you, then you should share it. If you share with 10 people, roughly, please don't call me and say, that didn't work, or I was trying to do this. But roughly, if you share with 10 people and they're as happy as you are, that's when you can start getting your oils paid for. Maybe you want to pay down bills. The average American family income is $56,000. The average debt that people have is like $30,000. That's a lot. So maybe that's what you want to do. Vacations, maybe you want to retire your spouse. I watched a YouTube video on retirement. Most people in this country are going to retire and living off of $1,200 a month. That's very minimum. Just some things to think about. You don't ever have to sell, but the option is there. Young Living has 95% of their members just use oils or just use the products. Only 5% of us actually do this for a business, which is kind of interesting if you think about it. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions. Does anybody have any questions about their starter kit, about supplements, maybe something I didn't touch on that you'd like to know about? Angie, have you even gotten your starter kit yet?
No, Wednesday.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
I am looking forward to it. And I ordered the Thieves cleaning kit too for my first ER. So
good for you.
Looking forward to that too.
Now, will that come Wednesday too, or is that going to wait until March?
No, it's coming this week. I think that one's coming Thursday.
Awesome. Oh, that's going to be so great.
And then I placed an order last night for makeup so I can do the makeup challenge.
Fun.
So I'm going to have the UPS man come in or FedEx man come in frequently.
Girl, most of us know ours by name. We're like, hi again. Oh, that's so fun, Angie. Oh, that is so great. Okay, Neil just said cedarwood. Neil, do you want to tell us why you like cedarwood? Look, I'm putting him on the spot. Is that a no? Okay, I'll tell you. So cedar wood, it's a really inexpensive oil that I try to tell people when you get your starter kit, okay, go ahead and add cedar wood. It's the only thing, well, the simplest way I can describe it, it's a brain changer oil. It helps your brain just think clearly. It supports sleep. It also helps you to focus. It sharpens your brain. So if you use it midday, it's not going to make you like conk out. But at night, if you diffuse it, it is so lovely. It is very soothing for your nervous system. So yeah, for any of you guys who are newer and you don't have cedar wood yet, that's a good one. Okay, Cynthia says it's Essential Rewards only with an auto reorder program. I was confused on that. Thank you, Cynthia, for asking. So Essential Rewards is our auto ship program. Like I think Amazon Prime, they do that. All these places do like a monthly box order. Essential Rewards is an auto ship, but you can do it anytime you want. So, for example, maybe you have it going out tonight on the 5th, but then on March 5th, you think, oh, I don't really need anything quite yet. I'm going to push it out to March 25th. And so you can bump it back. Or if you do it on March 5th and you say, you know what, I don't want my cedar wood and thieves, I've got plenty, but I want to try supplements this time. And so you can switch it up for whatever you want, as much as you want. You can do it one time a month. You can order as often as you want. They will gladly take your money, believe me. But the auto ship program where you get points back, it's just a once a month deal. It's free to join. It's free to cancel. I always tell people, try it for 3 months. Just try it. And as you're trying it, switch out things. And then after 3 months, say, okay, is this worth it? Am I using my stuff? I guarantee you will be. If for some reason you had to stop it, you just phone in and say, I need to stop. And they're very sweet about it. Okay, no problem. And you only need to spend $50 or about 50, it's 50 PV or about $50. The time where the PV isn't the same is if you order a diffuser or like catalogs, any kind of business resources. These little roller tops that you get, or not these, but the ones that come in your kit, those aren't full PV, but everything else is pretty much full PV. And then I mentioned points earlier. So the points back, it's percentage. It's not actual money in your pocket. Like they don't send you a check, but they will put points in your rewards account. So it'll say rewards balance, Essential Rewards balance, something like that. The first 3 months, you get 10% back. Month 4, it's 20% up to month 24. And then on month 25, you start earning 25% back. It's awesome. It's fantastic. Okay, sorry. Neil said, yep, cedarwood for the hair too. Awesome. And sleep, skin, hair, all of it. Yeah. Lavender, cedarwood, thief. Turns out if you need anything for sleep support, Neil's your guy. He can help you out with that. Cynthia, did that answer your question? Or did that help clear it up, I should say? My pleasure. All right, are there any other questions before we sign off tonight? All good? All right, well, thank you, everybody.